Assalamu alaikum children. How are you all? I think you all doing great. And today we are going to start the political science subject. So as you all know, what is the meaning of politics and political science? Yes, in ordinary level examination, right? For all of us, we do citizenship, education, and history. So both subjects combine here as political science. Okay, so I'm going to teach you the grade 12 and 13 lesson. Here, first of all, I'm going to define you what is the meaning of politics and what is the meaning of political science. Okay, so by introduction only we are going to go through into the lesson because most of the students they are new to this lesson. Somehow others have learned it. Okay, I think they have some basic knowledges regarding the lesson, while some others don't have any knowledge about this lesson. And I'm going to start from the beginning part. I'm going to introduce what is it, and then we are going to dive into a brief chapter. Okay, yes. Now look at the first unit. Our unit 1 is, I think children, you can understand. If you don't have any questions or something else, please let me know. And if you have questions also, please let me know. Okay, then only I can understand who are the children with clear conception and who are the children with not clear conception. Our unit 1 is nature of political science, study of politics and approaches. Yeah. Now here, when we take the unit 1 lesson, the nature of political science, study of politics and approaches, the political science is always taken deeply to our life. Okay, we can apply everything to our life. While the politics is done practically and the political science is done not practically. Okay, whatever the thing happened inside the government, the ruling systems, the governors, right, and what are the constitutions and reforms was held, everything will be included inside this politics lesson. Okay, and next one is study of politics. That means the practical way how they used to define it so and so, right? That means how they use it in their life and what are the political methods they use to revolve this country, right? To undergo inside this country, everything regarding those chapter will be included in the study of politics. While the approaches, finally there is a topic called approaches. What is the meaning of approaches? The approaches here consider as the parts. Okay, what are the parts come under this politics and political science? What are the examples of constitutions? What are the examples of reforms? What are the examples of ruling systems and the kings and the ministers? The way of presidential system in our country, everything will be right. For example, I can say the Salisbury Constitution, the Dodoma Constitutions, everything regarding the lesson will be come undergo through inside the approaches. So here, children, we are going to learn deeply about the political science, the life of political science, how we can apply it, and what are the political ways in practically done and what are the stepwise, that means what are the approaches going through it. Okay, right, now go to the next one. As we are going through introduction, our first one is introduction of politics and political science. Okay, so here politics is an important part of human life. Yes, it's correct way, right children? It's a correct thing because it's very important to our human life. When we are living within a country or without a country, right? I mean the abroad or foreign countries and inside this country, now we are living in Sri Lanka. So inside the Sri Lanka, there is a big ruling system going on, right? There is a president. Under the president, there are some minister board. There is a parliament system going on. There are some rules and regulations for the public sector and the private sector. We have to follow everything. So for human life, the political science is very important. The politics practically done is very, very important. And the other one is it has a close relationship with society and people. Okay, when we take the relationship with the society and people, there is a close connection, close interaction. Okay, the society and the people, both of them should be interaction each other. They should follow the rules and regulations that is given through, right? If we are not going undergone through these kinds of things, we don't follow these kinds of things, we will be punished, right? We will be punished and we can't live within a country peacefully. And next one is every citizen should study politics. Yes, it's also very important. Although we are doing political science for the advanced level, or we are not doing, but from our parents, from our elders, right? The non people, from the ministers, for everything, for every person, we are going to study it, right? Each and every child who are growing, they should know what is this country's rules, what is this country going on, right? What are the things we should follow, everything they should know it. So here the politics define what it is, a practical life. Okay, it is a practical life going on, we have to use it practically. And next one is Political science. So there are two main different definitions for politics and political science. We can't say that both is one. No, right? Politics is always it's done practically. We should do it. We should follow it, right? Regularly in our country when we are living till our death from birth we have to follow this politics rules. And next one, political science. When we take the political science chapter, it is academic study of politics. Okay, I mean, now children, I will say shortly. Now, if it is politics done practically, the scientific method, okay, the science is inside the political science. So political science should be applied to our life and politics should be used practically. I think you understood, children. I will repeat again. Politics should be practically done, okay, practically followed regularly, and political science should be studied. It should be understood and applied to our regular life. So here it studies different aspects of politics and human interaction. In this lesson, we are going to learn what? Different types of aspects. What are the system inside this politics and how the human is going to consider inside this politics. How the human is moving through, right? What are things they should follow? What are things they should know inside this political nature? Now we are going to the next topic. It's called the history of politics. Yes. Now first I'm going through introduction and now we know what is politics and what is political science. Politics is always used practically while the political science should be applied to our life and practically done. The politics should be done practically in our daily life, right? We should follow and all, but the political science we should apply in our life. We should know it and then only we are going to activate it. And next topic is history of politics. When we take the history of politics, like everything, right children, each and for everything we have a history, right? When we take a plant, when we take a human being, when we take a famous person, ancient person, right, when we take an artist, for everything there is a history. Even for our country there is a big history, right? From presidential system there is a big history coming on. So here we should know what is the history of it, right? Before this subject comes on, what is the history of these both two names, this politics and political science? Here politics means the study of politics has a long history. Can you understand, children? Yes, it has a long history and it begins as early as the 5th century BC. So what is the century it was started, the politics? Yes, it was started in 5th century BC. What is the meaning of BC? Buddhist Christ. Okay, right. So here it began as early as the 5th century BC. Political education and training took place in Athens, Greece. Okay, so here we can have a new knowledge where it was taken place at the beginning. Athens, Greece. So we can understand that politics has a long history and it was started in the 5th century BC and late or earlier, right? Early 5th century BC, and it was the political education. This political education was first took place in where? Athens, Greece. Okay, don't forget this because in exams also these kinds of questions are asked in MCQ question, right? Yes, now look at the next topic. History of political science. Yes, when we take the history of political science, I said you earlier, political science is taken to our life while the politics is done practically. So here, political science developed in ancient Greece around the 5th and 4th century BC. What it said, political science developed in ancient Greece. Okay, as I said you, political education also was started in Athens, Greece, and political science also was developed in where? It's in ancient Greece, and it's around when? 5th to 4th century BC. From 5th to 4th century BC, this political science was developed. It was taken place. Plato and Aristotle established academies and made political science an academic subject. Yes, children. Now these days who are asked to teach and all, teachers are there. Okay, like that for political science lesson at the beginning, for political science lesson also there were two main teachers, right? They created what? They created, like now we have schools, at that time they created academies. Okay, the two person called Plato and Aristotle, they too started these academies and they started to give the education of political science to the children for the society. Understood? Yes. Later it was introduced into schools, universities and academies. Okay, so what is the first institution it was started? It is the academy. Okay, after academy only this lesson, this political science, the political field was included inside the schools, universities. Okay, thereby it was continued. Last one, Ancient India and China also contributed to the development of political science. So, who are the famous two places we have to know? The political science was developed. It was ancient India. Okay, you know that, like Sri Lanka, India also has a brief history and political history, and China also brief history, right? China also has temples, the long poles, different kinds of religious things that happen inside China also, the political surrounding also there. So we have to know that ancient India and China also was changed, was followed, okay, was contribute to the development of political science. They also practice this habit in politics and political science, and they also started to continue in their countries, in their schools, universities, in their academies. Okay, right. Yes, now our next topic. I think children, you can understand what I'm saying, right? If you have any doubts, you can ask me and give me a text. I can answer you. And here, main areas of political science. So, what are the main areas of political science? Right? Studies different aspects of politics. Right? The political science உள்ளுக்கு வந்து எங்களுக்கு ஒவ்வொரு டாபிக்கை பற்றி படிச்சுக்கொண்டு வரையிலும். Okay? ஒவ்வொரு டாபிக் ஒவ்வொரு ஏரியாஸுகள் தெரிஞ்சுக்கொள்ளும். The first one is studies different aspects of politics. ஒவ்வொரு aspects, ஒவ்வொரு regulations, ஒவ்வொரு steps எங்களுக்கு பழைக்கொண்டு பார்த்துக்கொண்டு போகலும் இந்த politics உள்ளுக்கு. Okay? What are the methods to speak? How to argue? Right? What are the important topics we should talk? Everything. Right? When we take the parliamentary system of Sri Lanka, we can get a brief example how the politics is going on inside that government rule. Okay? And second one, critics existing political theories, right? They capture special theories, the Mahavali project theories, right? And ministers theories, the societies theories, like the different kinds of their chapter. They take their chapter into the first form and they started to argue each other. They critic, right? They research more and more regarding their places, their areas and all, right? What are their difficulties, and they move on to talk in politics. And next one, develops new theories and concepts, right? So what they are doing is they are suggesting solutions, okay, for each and every people, their problems, their facings in the country, then society. What they do is they complain for the main, right? They complain for the parliamentary area, they move to the ministers and they say their problems, and while that, what happen is they give the solution. For we have to develop with the theories, new solutions, new theories and new concepts, what we should follow the next, okay, what we should do next. Like that, we have to know the theories and concepts. Next one is examines public policies. Oh, what is that? Yes, children. Now, if there is no public policy in a country, can we live on? No, we can't, right? In every places, we should have public policies, right? If other than that, the passengers will move their own, right? They will do what they want. Then it is not a proper way in a country. So we can't live in a proper manner. So that's what always we should examine their public policies, what they do. We have to follow the officers, right? We have to follow their rules and regulations. Then only we can live as a proper human being in this living society. And next one is suggest solutions to political and social problems. What is that, children? Yes, as I said you previously, we have to found new theories and concepts. Okay, what we should have to do next, how to solve this issue. Like that, we have to have new theories and concepts. That says here, suggest solutions to political and social problems. Not only social problems, but also political problems. Inside the political area also, there are a lot of problems arising, right? They are arguing each other. They are also trying to find new solutions and all. So we have to be aware of those kinds of things, and we should also ready with the solutions what come to face us. Okay, the last one is educates and trains responsible citizen. Yes, if there is a person who don't have responsibility, right, who don't care anything, can we give a property of them, right? Can we give a duty to them? No, we can't, right? We should found who are the people responsible, who are well done, right? Who are well done, who are responsible for each and everything, right? Who save our country, the police officers, the army forces, like that, and the ministers who do well, right? Now we are voting. In the government system, there is a voting way. Okay, so the person who is not doing well, can we vote for them? No, right? It's useless. Now we are giving the votes for them. They are coming as a parliament system inside, right? As a president or a minister or prime minister, something, or a judge, right? But he don't do it properly, his way properly, So what is the use of giving vote to him, right? We can't do like that, right? We have to choose, we have the right to choose the proper person. So we have to choose the right proper person and we have to vote for them. Then only there will be a new step coming to our country, right? Now recently we had a good president, so what happening here now? Right now everything is going on well, right? The society is all together, no any more issues, right? Previously what happened when other parliament systems was there, right? There were a lot of problems occurring. So there is no relaxation for the society, the public is being arise with a lot of problems, so it is very difficult to bear up. So that's what we have to always choose the proper person, the educates well educated person, right? And well trained persons for our responsible country. So and then only we have to train them. So here it says that educates and trains responsible citizens that gives a good useful manner to our country. Now look at the other topic. Yes, nature of political science. What is this? Nature, right? How it occurs. What is the revolutionary way of this political science? I said you political science we can't take it practically, right? We have to study only. We can't take it practically. Only studying. No, and we are studying and we are applying to our life. We should know it. We should educate within the political science study. So here, even though we are doing the subject for A levels or not, right? The younger generation, the elder generation, the past generation, everyone should know about this, right? A country is not just building up. There will be a big history forming, right? In the government system, there is a big history forming. By the king's ruling system, it's a big form is coming on. So we have to know all of this. So what is the nature here? It is one of the oldest academic disciplines. Can you understand, children? Political science is one of the oldest discipline. Which discipline? Academic discipline. So it was a academic study in the past era also. It developed alongside philosophy, mathematics, logic, ethics and aesthetics. Right. Inside political science, what are the subjects we are going to learn? Philosophy, right? Philosophy lesson. Earlier, Plato, Aristotle, they were more interested, right? They kept a major part where? In philosophy. I said you earlier, there were two persons who started academies in for political science. Who are those? Plato and Aristotle. Okay, they started first in where? Academies in Athens, Greece. So during that time, in those academies, what are the subjects which was followed? Philosophy, mathematics, logics, ethics, and aesthetics. These are nowadays what we are learning: math, science, history, civic, no, PT, like that. Earlier they studied these kinds of subjects. And next one, so these all subjects included where? In political science. And look at next one. It helps people understand politics, government and society. By learning these subjects, what's happening here is people will understand what is this politics, right? What is this government is and what is the society is, right? How the society is joining with government and politics, right? What are the system we should follow up, okay? How we should learn in a country, everything regarding the government area, everything regarding the politics area and everything regarding the society area. So all these will be combined each together, right? They will be interact one to one other, and these subjects help them to understand these kinds of criterias. Okay, the philosophy, the mathematics, logic, ethic and aesthetics help people to what? To understand the political area, to understand the governmental area and to understand the societal area. So here, inside the introduction part, they give all about the what's the meaning, the definition of politics, the concepts of politics, right? And next one is look at here, what are the main areas of politics, the history, what are the history of both topics, politics and political science. Okay. Now, children, yes, that's all for today. Now we are going to stop the class because today I thought of introducing the lesson, right? Because political science is new to advanced level students. That's why I thought of giving you a brief introduction regarding the subject. And from next class, we are going to continue more about this lesson. Well, we are going to dive more about this lesson, right? More features, more topics, and everything's are available. Right. I think today I have taught you a brief and short lesson, and this is unit one, right? The nature of this politics and political science and its approaches. Yes. So later on we are going to move through more, and I guess you understood. And if you don't understood, right, you can ask me questions. You can text me and ask, right? And thank you for joining today, right? And next day we are going to meet up.